Italy's biggest trade union is vowing that up to 1 million will march against the harsh new austerity package being debated in Rome. Italy's teetering on the brink over its massive debts, and one of Europe's biggest economies, its troubles threaten to destabilize the Eurozone and spur a new financial crisis. Now, the removal of several controversial provisions, such as a temporary tax on the wealthy, sent markets into a spin and sparked rumors of an imminent credit rating downgrade. Well, across the Ionian Sea, efforts to further rescue the Greek economy took a hit after Athens admitted it won't be able to meet deficit reduction deadlines. Well, let's get some perspective on this from Paris with Nicolas Dupont-Aignan, who's a member of France's ruling party until 2007. Thanks very much for joining us on the program. First off, austerity protests are nothing new. Why do you think there's so much anger now towards cuts that Italian Premier Berlusconi says are required to prevent collapse? I mean, we're all learning to make sacrifices to get back on track, isn't it?
No, the problem is that there is no growth and no employment in Italy, like in Spain, Greece, France, because the Eurozone is not working. And after 10 years, people realize that it's not working. And governments are asking people always more efforts, more prevention, and people doesn't support anymore this way of governing.
Okay, well, what about calls for Greece, for example, to be kicked out or let out of the Eurozone? Well, that's something that German Chancellor Angela Merkel has flatly rejected. Should an exit tool be considered for the bloc's well-being, you think?
I think that Greece will leave the Eurozone soon. I think that Greece cannot support the currency of Germany. It is not the same economy.
Sorry, do you think they will leave on their own accord, or do you think Greece will leave by itself, or will it be forced out?
Greece will be forced to leave Euro, because the only means for the Greece economy to recover, to sell products outside, is to devaluate. The euro currency is too expensive for Greece. It's too high. Producer of olive oil, producer of tourists, they need a currency which is not so high. You cannot have the same money, the same currency for Greece with productivity which is not high, and from Germany, it's not the same country. And for years and years, we gave money to Greece, but Greece cannot support this currency.
Okay, well, let's talk about France now. It's one of the more premier economies in the Eurozone, and the latest growth data puts Paris on the verge of financial stagnation. So is the debt crisis now catching up to these economies that are in a better position?
Yes, but France is not in the Greece situation, of course. We have a strong economy, but there is unemployment, which is very high, and it is the same now because government is saying to French people, we have we will impose new taxes, but in the same day, we are going to give to Greece 15 billion euro. It's people cannot accept. We ask money to the French people to give it to Greece, and it's not working. So the French government is very unpopular, and many French people, not the majority, a minority still now, thinks that we should leave Eurozone. We should have our own money, le franc. It's the only means, like Italy, Spain. We are in a historic moment. Yeah. The Eurozone is exploding.
Yeah, having said that, your president, though, President Sarkozy, is insistent that France's future lies with the euro. What do you think about that?
I think it's a bluff. It's completely stupid. I think we create Europe without euro, and it worked. When after the war, we had reconciliation and peace with Germany, with Italy. There was no euro. We had our own money, our own currency, and it worked because when we had a problem, we could devaluate, and Germany reevaluate its currency. So now we cannot use, like England, like Poland, like Sweden, we cannot use a monetary arm. So it's unemployment, which is the means of re-equilibrate things. So you understand that people in Europe began just to understand that euro is not working. You cannot have the same currency for countries who are completely different on the economic scale. And I think that we are going to see the explosion of the eurozone, and that all the governments who try to impose recession efforts, taxes, will have a revolt and revolution of the people.
All right, thank you very much for your insight there. Nicolas Dupont-Aignan, founder of France's Debout de la République party. Thank you very much.